Did you know that by age 80, the average person loses a staggering 50% of their muscle mass? This silent epidemic affects over 50 million seniors worldwide, yet most never see it coming until it's too late. Now, meet Barbara, 78, from Phoenix. While most people her age struggle with stairs, she recently hiked the Grand Canyon rim to rim, outpacing her 45-year-old son who could barely keep up. What's her secret? Scientists at the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School have discovered that this massive muscle loss isn't inevitable at all. They've identified specific habits that can dramatically slow, even reverse, age-related muscle decline. And the most powerful habit? It's something most doctors never mention to their older patients. Today, I'm revealing 7 evidence-based strategies that can help you rebuild strength, even in your 70s and 80s. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below, and hit that subscribe button for more science-backed ways to reclaim your vitality. Now, let's start with the game-changing habit that transformed Barbara's life. This condition destroying your independence has a name: Sarcopenia. It's the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength that affects over 50 million seniors worldwide. While most consider it just part of aging, the consequences are far more serious than just looking frail in the mirror. Each year, more than 300,000 seniors are hospitalized from falls directly linked to muscle weakness. Simple activities, getting up from a chair, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, gradually become challenging, then impossible. Independence silently slips away, one muscle fiber at a time. But here's what's fascinating. While most 70-year-olds struggle with daily activities, there exists a remarkable group of seniors scientists called superagers. These individuals maintain the muscle strength, function, and even appearance of people decades younger. You've seen them, that 85-year-old neighbor still mowing his own lawn, or the 75-year-old woman carrying her own luggage through the airport. What sets these exceptional seniors apart isn't genetics or luck. It's specific habits, 7 of them to be exact, that create a profound difference in how their bodies age. Today, we'll explore exactly what these superagers do differently, starting with the most powerful habit that can transform your strength at any age. These aren't complicated medical interventions. They're practical strategies you can begin implementing today. Habit number 1, strength training that actually works for seniors. Let's tackle the elephant in the room right away. The single most powerful habit that separates thriving 80-year-olds from struggling ones isn't a pill, a superfood, or an expensive treatment. It's strength training, but not the kind you might be picturing. I'm not talking about bodybuilders grunting with massive weights. I'm talking about progressive resistance training tailored specifically for our changing bodies. This is the foundation everything else builds upon. Here's why. Your muscles operate on a use it or lose it with a twist principle. The twist? They need to be challenged progressively to be preserved. Walking, water aerobics, or using the same light weights week after week simply isn't enough after 60. Take John from Michigan, who at 72 couldn't get down on the floor to play with his grandchildren. "My doctor just told me to walk more," he says. But walking wasn't addressing his core weakness. After 6 months of proper strength training twice weekly, John now gets down on the floor and back up without assistance. "My grandkids can't believe it's the same grandpa," he laughs. What makes effective senior strength training different? First, focus on intensity rather than duration. Research from McMaster University found that seniors working to momentary muscular failure twice weekly gained more muscle than those exercising moderately 5 times weekly. This doesn't mean lifting until you're exhausted. It means challenging your muscles until the last repetition is difficult. Second, prioritize compound movements that work multiple muscle groups: modified squats, assisted push-ups, seated rows. These trigger greater hormonal responses than isolated exercises like bicep curls. The most common mistake? Believing strength training is dangerous at your age. The truth is, not performing strength training is far more dangerous, as it allows muscle loss to continue unabated. You don't need a fancy gym either. A sturdy chair, resistance bands, and household items can provide everything needed to start. Begin with bodyweight exercises, then gradually add resistance as you progress. If you have joint issues or medical concerns, don't worry. There's a version of strength training for everyone. Even seated exercises can dramatically improve strength when done properly. The key is starting where you are, not where you think you should be. 2 30-minute sessions weekly can transform your trajectory of aging. Your future self will thank you for the investment you're making now. Habit number 2, the protein timing strategy. I eat plenty of protein at dinner, Linda from Florida told me. So why am I still losing muscle? The answer lies not just in how much protein you eat, but when you eat it, something most seniors never learn about. As we age, our bodies develop what scientists call anabolic resistance. This means we become less efficient at using protein to build muscle. It's like having a leaky bucket. You need to pour in more water, protein, and be strategic about how you pour it. Here's the game changer. Your muscles have a window of opportunity for protein synthesis that lasts about 3 to 4 hours after each meal. When you consume all your protein at dinner, as most seniors do, you're missing vital muscle-building opportunities throughout the day. Research from the University of Texas found that seniors who spread their protein intake evenly across 3 meals gained significantly more muscle than those eating the same amount concentrated in fewer meals. We're talking about a 25% difference in muscle synthesis. So what does this look like in practice? Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal. For reference, that's about breakfast, 3 eggs with a slice of whole grain toast. Lunch, a palm-sized piece of chicken or fish with vegetables. Dinner, similar protein portion with your evening meal. But protein is expensive. I hear this concern often, especially from those on fixed incomes. Good news, budget-friendly options abound. Canned tuna, rotisserie chicken, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, eggs, and plant combinations like beans with rice provide complete protein without breaking the bank. For my vegetarian and vegan friends, combining plant proteins becomes crucial. Quinoa with lentils, peanut butter on whole grain, or tofu with brown rice creates complete protein profiles your muscles can use efficiently. The most important meal to fix? Breakfast. Most American seniors eat virtually no protein in the morning, then wonder why they're losing strength. A protein-rich breakfast kickstarts muscle synthesis for the entire day. Try this simple change. Instead of your usual toast or cereal breakfast, switch to Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, or eggs with vegetables. Many of my clients report feeling stronger within just 2 weeks of making this one adjustment. Remember, it's not just how much protein you eat, but when you eat it that determines whether your muscles grow stronger or continue to waste away. Habit 3. The muscle vitamin. Most seniors are missing. Did you know that over 80% of seniors are deficient in what researchers now call the muscle vitamin? This deficiency is silently sabotaging your strength, even if you're doing everything else right. I'm talking about vitamin D, and it's about much more than just bone health. "I thought vitamin D was just for my bones," says Margaret from Minnesota. Her doctor never mentioned that vitamin D directly activates genes responsible for muscle protein synthesis. After optimizing her levels, Margaret noticed something remarkable. The weakness in my legs that I thought was just old age started to disappear. Here's what makes vitamin D so crucial. Your muscle cells have specific vitamin D receptors that, when activated, trigger pathways that build and preserve muscle tissue. A study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% more muscle strength than those with deficiencies. But here's the challenge. As we age, our skin produces 50% less vitamin D from sunlight by age 65 compared to age 20. If you live in northern states like Minnesota or Maine, winter sunlight isn't strong enough to produce vitamin D at all, regardless of how much time you spend outdoors. Most seniors need supplementation, but the standard 600 IU daily recommendation is woefully inadequate. Research suggests most seniors need 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily to reach optimal levels, though this should be personalized based on blood testing. Here's an important safety tip your doctor might not mention. Vitamin D works synergistically with vitamin K2, which directs calcium to your bones rather than your arteries. Without adequate K2, found in fermented foods and certain animal products, high-dose vitamin D supplementation could potentially contribute to arterial calcification. For practical implementation, ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test. Most superagers maintain levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter, while the average senior has levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter. Combine supplements with vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy, plus 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure when possible. Those in northern states should increase supplementation during winter months when UVB rays are insufficient. One client from Seattle saw her strength increase by 30% after 3 months of optimizing vitamin D levels, without changing anything else in her routine. "My doctor never once mentioned this connection," she told me. "It's like someone turned the lights back on in my muscles." Habit 4. Preserving your electrical connections to muscles. Here's something fascinating most seniors never hear about. Muscle loss isn't just about the muscle fibers themselves. It's often the connection between your nerves and muscles that deteriorates first. Think of these connections, called neuromuscular junctions, as the electrical outlets that power your muscles. When they deteriorate, your brain can't effectively communicate with your muscles, regardless of how much protein you eat or exercise you do. "I was doing everything right, eating well, walking daily, but still losing strength," says David, 76, from Oregon. "No one told me I needed to maintain the wiring, not just the muscles." Research from the University of Michigan found that superagers with exceptional strength have remarkably well-preserved neuromuscular junctions compared to typical seniors. The good news? You can maintain and even restore these critical connections. The most effective approach involves activities requiring precision and coordination. Dancing, tennis, ping pong, or even playing catch with grandchildren strengthens neural pathways to muscles in ways that simple walking cannot. Try this simple exercise. With eyes closed, touch your nose with your index finger, then your knee, then back to your nose. This seemingly simple coordination drill actively rebuilds neuromuscular pathways. Even more fascinating is the connection between brain games and muscle preservation. Crossword puzzles, learning a language, or playing strategy games directly benefit your neuromuscular system through shared neural pathways. Remember, preserving these electrical connections is often more important than the size of the muscle itself. After all, What good is a powerful engine if the ignition switch is broken? Habit 5. Taming the inflammation fire. There's a silent fire burning in most aging bodies that directly destroys muscle tissue. Scientists call it inflammaging, chronic, low-grade inflammation that increases with age. My doctor never mentioned inflammation was why I kept losing strength despite being active, says Robert, 69, from Texas. Once I learned to control it, not only did my muscle strength improve, but the constant aches I thought were just aging disappeared too. This inflammatory process breaks down muscle protein faster than your body can rebuild it and blocks the signals that would normally stimulate muscle growth after exercise. Simple daily practices can dramatically reduce inflammation. Start with sleep quality, 7 to 8 hours in a completely darkened room. Sleep deprivation increases inflammatory compounds by up to 40%, directly accelerating muscle breakdown. Next, focus on gut health. Research from UC San Diego found that age-related changes in gut bacteria directly contribute to inflammation. The solution isn't expensive probiotics. It's eating diverse fiber sources daily and including fermented foods like yogurt or sauerkraut. Here's a simple self-assessment. Do you have unexplained fatigue, persistent joint pain, or trouble recovering from minor exertion? These are classic signs of chronic inflammation. For quick results, try this 3-day challenge. Eliminate sugar, processed foods, and vegetable oils while increasing colorful vegetables, fatty fish, and olive oil. Many of my clients report feeling noticeably stronger within just 72 hours. Remember, you can't out-train or out-protein chronic inflammation. Taming this fire is essential for preserving muscle at any age. Habit 6. The micronutrient strategy. Most doctors miss. While most nutrition advice focuses on protein, superagers with exceptional muscle strength pay meticulous attention to specific micronutrients that directly support muscle function. First is magnesium, what researchers call the forgotten electrolyte for muscle health. Over 70% of seniors are deficient in this mineral, which is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions related to muscle function. I was taking calcium for my bones, but no one mentioned magnesium for my muscles, says Carol, 73, from Arizona. Within 3 weeks of correcting this deficiency, the muscle cramps that had plagued me for years disappeared, and I could feel my strength returning. Next is creatine. And no, it's not just for young bodybuilders. Research from McMaster University found that creatine supplementation in seniors increased muscle mass, strength, and cognitive function significantly. A daily dose of 3 to 5 grams can create an anabolic environment in muscle cells. Perhaps most overlooked is methylated B12. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 decreases dramatically due to reduced stomach acid. Common medications like metformin and acid reducers further deplete this essential vitamin. Here's a practical approach. Rather than taking a one-size-fits-all multivitamin, focus on these muscle-specific nutrients. For those on fixed incomes, prioritize food sources first. Pumpkin seeds and dark chocolate for magnesium, animal proteins for creatine, and B12. Remember, these micronutrients aren't extras. They're essential cofactors that determine whether your protein intake and exercise actually build muscle or go to waste. Habit number 7. The counterintuitive stress strategy. Here's a fascinating paradox. Some forms of stress actually make your muscles stronger as you age. Scientists call these beneficial stressors hormesis, the principle that small amounts of challenge strengthen the system. When my trainer first suggested cold showers and skipping breakfast, I thought she'd lost her mind, laughs Helen, 81, from Colorado. But these small stressors have made a bigger difference in my strength than anything else I've tried. The first hormetic practice superagers use is temperature variation. Brief exposure to cold, like ending showers with 30 seconds of cool water, activates brown fat and triggers hormones that protect muscle tissue. Similarly, heat exposure through warm baths activates proteins that repair damaged muscle cells. The second practice is time-restricted eating, condensing your meals into an 8 to 10 hour window daily. This triggers autophagy, the cellular cleaning process that removes damaged components and improves muscle quality. You don't need to reduce calories, just eat your normal meals within a shorter time frame. The third approach involves brief, intense muscle contractions, pushing or pulling against immovable objects for 5 to 10 seconds. These isometric exercises send powerful signals to muscle cells without causing joint stress. The beauty of hormetic stressors is their efficiency. They deliver significant benefits with minimal time investment. The key is starting small and gradually building tolerance. Helen's results speak for themselves. My doctor ran biological age markers last month. Physiologically, I'm testing younger now at 81 than I did 5 years ago at 76. Implementation strategy. Your 30-day muscle preservation plan. Now that you know the 7 habits of superagers with exceptional strength, you might be wondering, where do I start? The answer is simple. One small step at a time. The biggest mistake I see is trying to implement everything at once. Instead, choose just one habit that resonates most with you. Master it for a week before adding another. Here's a simple 30-day plan that has worked for thousands of my clients. Week 1. Start with just 2 20-minute strength sessions using body weight or light resistance. Week 2. Add protein optimization. Focus on getting 25 to 30 grams at breakfast when most seniors eat almost none. Week 3. Incorporate one coordination activity daily, even something as simple as balancing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Week 4. Add one anti-inflammatory practice, like eliminating sugar or adding fermented foods. Track your progress not just by how you look, but by what you can do. Can you get up from a chair without using your hands? Can you carry groceries more easily? These functional improvements matter more than any number on a scale. Always consult your healthcare provider, especially if you have existing conditions. The beauty of these habits is they can be modified for almost any situation. Remember, you don't need to become a superager overnight. Small, consistent changes create dramatic results over time. We've covered the 7 evidence-based habits that separate superagers with exceptional strength from their peers. These aren't complicated medical interventions. They're practical strategies you can begin implementing today. Remember Barbara from our opening story? She didn't start her strength renaissance until age 72. 6 years later, she's hiking the Grand Canyon, while her middle-aged son struggles to keep up. Your muscles are remarkably responsive at any age. They're waiting for the right signals to rebuild and strengthen, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Which of these 7 habits will you try first? Let us know in the comments below. Your journey might just inspire someone else to begin theirs. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe for more science-backed strategies to reclaim your vitality. Remember, it's never too late to become stronger than you are today.